Hi everybody, I wanted to do a quick video talking about yesterday's huge, amazing Fantasy 15 sale. $3.6 million world record for a comic book, which is super exciting for all of us or anybody who's a comic book collector. I'm lucky enough, as you may or may not know, to have a amazing Fantasy 15. I do believe there's, I'm not exactly sure, but Blue Labels, I think there's like 2,200 of these. I obviously have a very low grade 1.8, not the 9.6 that sold yesterday, but still a valuable book. I wanted to go through a couple of the questions that I got yesterday. So I guess the first thing I'd say is that it was good to say to my wife that, hey, look, this comic sold for $3.6 million, as we know. Some of our significant others sometimes may or may not get tired of us talking about comics. But and then to say we do own that comic, and that obviously not in 9.6, which she well understands. But it's still exciting because it's going to affect the grade of this comic, and I think really all comics. I mean, it's going to take a while, but I think mentally for people to understand that, you know, there is the high end is 3.6 million. I think it does allow for people to understand that there are other comics that may not be that worth that much, but other ones could pull others up, and as it pulls others up, it's going to pull others up. So I mean, I think it's not the worst thing ever for us. The second thing I had a lot of questions about was, did I know about the sale? And is that why I bought mine, etc.? So if you don't know, I bought mine back in early June or mid-June, somewhere in there, this year. So about, 2.5 months ago. And yes, I did know that this 9.6 was going to go on sale. A lot of people who know much more than I expected it to, break records, etc. So that, I wasn't putting any pressure on myself to buy anything, but I did know the two things that, if anything could be said, accelerated my purchase is, number one, I knew that there'd been this big lull in the MCU, especially Spider-Man movies, and that Spider-Man No Way Home was coming out. As soon as that trailer hit, it was going to, really any Marvel stuff started accelerating, that it's the potential for the book to get hot and maybe, obviously you want to buy it for the lowest prices possible. So I wanted to try and buy it before that trailer dropped. And then the other thing, which I think it was well marketed and known throughout the industry that this particular book was going to go on sale in September. So I thought, and we all thought, that it would set a record, and so that I knew would affect the price. So there was, yes, I did think about buying my AF-15 before those two events. And then kind of the last thing that I'll just mention that people have asked about is, how much money do you think it's going to go up? And I don't have a clue, but one that I guess I kind of looked at was the Marvel Spotlight 5 first appearance of Ghost Rider. It had such an incredible sale of like 250,000 a month back, I think it was. And so I just looked at some of the numbers before I got on camera here. Did that, suddenly every single Marvel Spotlight was, 5 times the price? And from what I could see, it really wasn't. And maybe the tools that we use, you can't really see, everything, Instagram sales, etc. But from what I can see, there wasn't some, hugely significant event. There were some other ones that sold for more, but, a lot of prices on comic books are going up. So without that sale, would they have sold to the same price? Because they weren't 5 times what they normally were. They were the normal, I would say, maybe, 10 to 20% increases that I saw for some of the higher grades for that particular book. So either way, I think it's I think it's good for us as comic book collectors. It's fun to get positive press for the comic book industry. And I will mention some of my other friends that do have gobs and gobs of money they know I'm into comic books. They saw that press, and they called me, and they're like, maybe I should get into comic books now. And so I guess from the perspective of investing, it's probably never bad to have people that have gobs of money interested in the hobby. Either way, an exciting day for all of us, hopefully. And I just wanted to share my thoughts. Thanks. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.